So Kelsey Mitchell in the post-game conference was talking a little bit about Ari McDonald. And she did end up, by the looks of things, taking a slight shot at, at Wana Bonner. And I mean this when I say this. I think Wana Bonner deserves every single subtle dig or not so subtle dig from the Indiana Fever fan base or the Indiana Fever players. Because especially with Kelsey Mitchell, we all remember that, oh, that's my vet. We have the best vet in the world. Kelsey Mitchell about Dewanna Bonner. Like, I think when it comes to DB, I think she's very much. Kelsey's definitely pissed at this whole situation. And why wouldn't she be? Genuinely, why wouldn't she be? But let's take a listen. So this is her talking. She's mostly talking about Ari McDonald here. But it does sound like there are shots at Dewanna Bonner.
Oh, it's unbelievable. This is our blessing in disguise.
Blessing in disguise. I mean, according to most people, they don't get her without Dewanna Bonner, according to most of the media. Even though she came when Dewanna Bonner was there, but either way.
We always tell her that we appreciate her seriously because our season was all over the place, obviously, with, the people that was on the team, the people that wasn't on the team, injury, Tutu not being around as much with her injuries, and just, it takes a lot for a pro to step up and, be where her feet is and step and fill in shoes that, not a lot of people expect. And I think for Aari, she compliments myself, all the other players so well because she just gets it as far as knowing where people are, knowing the chemistry. And I think for us to her, we have to make sure that we keep patting on the back because this is a big position to fill, and I think that she's doing it unbelievably well.
And if you're wondering what it was from at the very start.
We always tell her that all over the place, obviously, with, the people that was on the team, the people.
But, like, she was about to say, it sounded like she was about to say the Dewanna situation. The people that was on the team, people that were off the team. Like, yeah.
With, the people that was on the team, the people that wasn't on the team, injury.
Like, it does genuinely seem, when it comes to Kelsey Mitchell, like she is, like that was a not so subtle jab at Wana Bonner. Like, what looks like a blessing could have just be a crutch. Relying on injuries for motivation, not sustainable. I don't think they rely on injuries. The people that was on the team, people that are off team, is DB, Shade. Clearly, and no one gave DB a chance, so please miss me with this. DB is killing it where she is. And her team, she's 3-5. Dewanna Bonner is playing for teams that are a combined, I kid you not, that are a combined 9 games above 500. The 2 teams she has been on. Dewanna Bonner is 3 games below 500 for the season for herself. She is her teams are a combined 9 games above 500, and her as an individual is 3 games below 500. Like, I'm not like trying to be bad, but like Dewanna Bonner has been statistically probably outside of maybe Dejanay Carrington, the least impactful player in the entire WNBA this season. But yeah, like, see, the people are on the team, people wasn't on the team. Commentary says a lot. So proud of him. And Ari McDonald, you absolute legend for stepping up. Like, I know calling someone an absolute legend since the whole Carl Jobst lawsuit maybe isn't the greatest thing in the world to do, but you know what? I'm Irish. We can use that phrase as well. But Ari McDonald has been an absolutely fantastic player. Look, I still question Ari's ability to play with Caitlin Clark. I actually do question that, but at the end of the day, Caitlin Clark is currently injured. So Ari's ability to play with Caitlin Clark doesn't have that much relevance. Doesn't have that much relevance right now while Caitlin Clark is injured. We can figure out that problem down the road when Caitlin's back. But right now, while Caitlin Clark is injured, we're like, Ari is the better point guard than Sid Colson. She's the much better point guard than Colson. And what Ari McDonald has done, look, if the Indiana Fever had messed up that signing, they wouldn't be in the position they're in right now. And to be honest, like, I do think the front office, I think it's funny, when the front office, when they didn't have that many people to choose from, when they were just looking, when everyone's being signed, when all the big names chose not to go to Fever, the front office made really good signings. But when they were trying to court people and convince people to choose them over other teams, and rather signing players that weren't hungry. And in Natasha Howard's defense, when Natasha Howard wants to play, she's class. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. And she's just waiting for the playoffs. But yeah, at the end of the day, look, it is a situation when it comes to the Fever where I think Ari was unbelievable. And you can even hear it with Kelsey. Like, I think that the whole Dewanna Bonner situation, like, it had a negative impact on the team. Because it did. There's no way. Like, they randomly just stopped showing energy when it came like public knowledge that Wana Bonner had quit on the team. The energy on the team was just it just wasn't the same. It just wasn't the same for 2 or 3 games. Like, they tried to get it back. And I think that there was a case when the players kind of saw Dewanna wasn't there. I'd say maybe at the start it was just, oh yeah, Dewanna's, she's gone for personal reasons. I wouldn't be surprised if it just kind of just stalled and kept going and going and going, and it wasn't a situation where the players fully expected Dewanna to come back. I think the players probably did, because it didn't seem like there was anything crazy, and then all of a sudden, like, just out of nowhere, it was around the time of the Liberty game when Caitlin came back. Everybody noticed, okay, geez, like Natasha Howard had unfollowed her on Instagram and a whole bunch of things. So, like, I do think that there is genuinely not some resentment there. I don't think it's on a personal level that there's any resentment, but I do think on a competitor level and a sporting level, there is a bit of a let's show them attitude from the Indiana Fever. And there's no way these players are happy about this situation. Because let's be real, like, you can understand when a player leaves a team, but you want to destroy them. Like, at any level. Any level. And I'll always give in personal anecdotes in these type of situations. Like I was, when I left the team when I was 15 maybe. And, like, I basically left the team, basically, the reason why I left is because the team I was at was a lower level and wanted to train against better players, and because I wanted to make the national team under 6 at that age. I made the national team. But I left the team with a lot of my best friends. Off the court, they were still some of my best friends, but as soon as we got on the court, they wanted to absolutely kill me. And I'm like, that's the thing where it's like, that's the way sports should be. I don't know if these players have a personal issue with Dewanna. They may do or they may not. But I'm telling you for sure, there is definitely a competitive thing. We saw it in the game between this team and Dewanna Bonner. There is definitely some competitive rivalry, and that competitive rivalry is good for the sport. It is good for the game, and the Indiana Fever pushing and trying to get better and trying to win despite that, and players like Ari stepping up. And look, if you have this us versus the world mentality, which we know the Indiana Fever do have, we know they have an us versus the world mentality. That mentality can really, really help you as a team. Especially if, things maybe aren't going the way, like, especially when you're working through injuries, you're working through a lot of things, and you really have to be able to push on. But anyway, yeah, that is the video. I'll see you guys.